We're back. I'm on business today.
Right.
Okay.
Guys, welcome back to the Keeping It Frank podcast show. Welcome back to the Keeping It Frank podcast show with me, your boy, the host with the mother most, Keston Holiday Frank. And I'm here with your homegirl.
Triggs. Trigger Trey.
What's the last one?
Trigonometry.
Yeah, I mean, we out here. You know what I'm saying? We're going to make that a thing.
Mm-hmm.
So how you doing, man?
I'm good. You know, hurting.
Let's toast it up. You're going to keep the hurt going.
I wasn't trying to drink no more. I give up alcohol.
Not as long as you're doing this show. You give it up.
But watch, me drinking this will probably balance me out.
When we go to hiatus, that's when you give it up.
Lord. I need a what's it called? A detox, a cleanse. I need all of that. So, one day.
So how you feeling?
Pretty good. You know, out here. Working per usual.
Let's get into it.
All
What is the episode about today?
Well, have you seen the Ultimatum on Netflix?
I probably see some promos and stuff like
clips
that.
of it?
Yeah.
I don't know. They just released the finale and stuff like that. But I just think it's a messy ass show.
When was the finale?
You said when was it?
Yeah.
It came out yesterday.
Okay.
Yeah.
How was it?
I mean, so I thought it was going to be a little messier for the finale, but I mean, the whole show just overall was just wow.
Could you like messy shit?
No, but it was like, you know, it was just messy because it was couples that came in. Somebody in the couple gave somebody an ultimatum, right? Either you marry me or we're done. Okay.
And this is the premise of the show.
This is the premise of the show. It's the ultimatum. It's the same people that made Love Is Blind. I don't know if you saw Love Is Blind, where they had to like talk to each other in the pods and stuff.
I just feel like this kind of shows that you like.
I just sometimes I like to watch mindless reality TV.
Okay.
Because I feel like I think so much that sometimes I just need something that I don't really have to focus.
The level of mindless TV when I can is like Love and Hip Hop. And
but that's still reality TV.
And that's even limited because I don't want to, ruin my brain cells.
I mean, but sometimes you just need that relaxation where you don't have to be thinking about everything that's going on in the show. It could just be like, all right.
That's what I got porn for.
Wow. All right. I mean, but you still got to put in extra work when you watch porn. Extra arm and hand muscles.
I'd be like, close the door.
But I'm just saying, you still got to do mad stuff. Oh my goodness. You just sit and watch it like, ooh, this is a good story.
No, I don't watch the whole story.
Exactly. So that's still work. Anyway. Like basically these couples, somebody gave an ultimatum, like either you marry me or move on. Mm-hmm. And they went on this show and basically they were able to like see if there was something better out there for them. Okay. And they had to live with this other person who was basically somebody else's boyfriend. Like these couples just swapped people basically.
Okay. So they're like low-key swingers about the sex.
I mean, yeah, if you want to say it in that sense. They swapped. You picked who you want to pick. You swapped. They had to live with each other for 3 weeks. And then after 3 weeks, they went back to their original partner for 3 weeks.
Oh, I actually saw a porno like that. It's like there's like girlfriend swap, wife swap, and there was like swapping wives. Whatever. Go ahead. I guess it's different.
Did they have an ultimatum in the show? In that episode, or you didn't get that far? You didn't see how it ended?
No, I never saw how it ended. Yeah. Actually, I never saw the end of the show.
I can't deal with you. But anyway, like that's the premise of the show. But have you ever been given an ultimatum? I feel like you talk about how you're not a relationship person. So I don't know. Has anyone ever tried to give you an ultimatum? Like either you do this or it's done.
No.
No, not at all.
Actually, no. Never. Nah.
Because you've never been in a relationship for real, so I guess it don't matter.
It's not that. I mean, I felt, you know what it is? All right, so when my son's mother, my first kid, like when she got pregnant, her pops was like, so now you're getting married. I was like, whoa, wait a minute, nigga.
You don't do much too soon.
I was like, wait a minute. That's a no-go.
Oh, wow. You fought the papa, huh?
Yeah. I was like, nah, it's cool. That's not going to happen, but
Interesting. But other than that, like no one's ever tried.
But have you ever? I feel like it's a female thing. Like y'all give ultimatums. Have you ever gave an ultimatum to somebody?
No, because I don't feel like I've been in a relationship long enough.
What's your longest relationship?
Probably like 2 years.
And what's like what do you think the maximum number in a relationship before you can give that ultimatum?
Well, see, but that's the thing. Like, I feel like age just plays a part in that. Like, because if I'm dating you and I'm 20, 21, 22, like, I'm not obviously thinking about getting married. We can be together for 5-6 years. I'm not thinking about that at that point. I
mean, there's some young folks that...
No, there are. That's just not me.
Yeah, I felt like one of my boys, he got married like right after college. Mm-hmm. And I felt like he only did that because she like, nah, nigga, she threw that ultimatum at him. Like, you be getting married, nigga.
But sometimes guys,
I remember this nigga back in college. He was knocking them down. I was like,
but did he marry her though?
Yeah, he married her.
Oh, he married, right?
Yeah, he married her. Yeah.
But I feel like, do you think that
it's time for me to give it up?
Men sometimes need that push? Like, men get really comfortable in the way something is versus like actually taking that step.
I mean, you want to push us away, then go ahead.
But I mean, but sometimes it also pushes people and they make that choice because now they realize they might lose a person that they really do love.
I don't know if we need that push. I don't know if anybody needs that push.
I mean, for some people, it's worked. I mean, even on the show, not to spoiler alert.
I mean, nobody gonna watch this.
Nobody doesn't care.
Yeah, go ahead.
But I mean, like, even on the show, like at the end of it, like
how many couples was there?
6.
And how many people took that ultimatum?
So from the jump, 2. Like, they were just like, nah, fuck this. Marry me right now. They didn't even want to go through the experience.
Oh, so those 2 didn't
They were on the first episode. They dated the people, and then they were like, nah, let's get married to the original person. 2 people did that. Then later on, the other people went through the whole experiment of living, blah, 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 whatever. Mm. And at the end of that, 2 other couples, then they ended up proposing.
Okay. So it was 6 altogether?
Yeah. And 4 in total.
4 went through the experiment.
Mm-hmm. No, 4 ended up being, proposing.
Okay. So 2 of them was like, fuck that.
Yeah, like 2 couples actually like broke up. Like, makes relationship sense. Done.
Makes sense. That means they probably smashed the other person. And they, come on, son. That when the camera's
No, they didn't. Off, it was just drama. It really,
I don't know what happened when the camera's off.
What I think really was helpful though is that like it helps you think about the things that like who you are as a person and the things that like might work for you or don't work for you or your personality traits and how like really finding the right person. Like some people just love somebody like, oh, I just love them. But then there are things that just are not
don't
compatible.
Connect. Yeah, I think that's a fact. Like in relationship connection is very important. Mm-hmm. I think most people like bypass that connection shit. They don't even realize they don't connect with that person, with someone until it's too late. Until they either have kids or they got married. Then it's like, oh shit. Like we wasn't in sync at all.
But I mean, like some of them, like
single us, yeah. Like it's like single us is great. Single us is we're fucking and we're traveling and fucking, or we just staying in one place and fucking. But I mean, single us is just a lot of fucking. Single us is just a lot of fucking. Mm-hmm. But I mean, like relationship us, it's still kind of the same. But then when you make that extra leap, you know what I'm saying, into like marriage and
do you feel like that family, then changes your relationship though?
I think so.
But why? If you were these 2 people and you're dating and these are your personalities and whatever, and you're in a relationship, but then you get married, all of a sudden your relationship is different?
I think at every stage in your relationship or every stage in life, you kind of change. You kind of have a different person. It's like when you meet someone, you meet, like they said, they always say you meet that person representative until a certain couple, until however long the representative want to stay for and shit. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like at every stage you see somebody different and shit. Because
but that's one thing.
Yeah, because then they see the representative. Now it's like, all right, cool. Like, okay, I think we're cool. And then, because even like being with somebody when like, separate, right? Like, let's say me and you together and we're in a relationship. Mm-hmm. But then living together is a whole different individual. It's a whole different thing.
Yes.
Because now you start seeing a whole different person. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know you was like this. I didn't know you this way. You know what I'm saying? Like, you feel me? Like you're not living with that person. After you come over, that person may do they may cook a little something. Now you live with that person. That shit not happening. Not mad takeouts and shit. Wow. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of different things, right? Like, not living with somebody, y'all always fucking. You know what I'm saying? Now you living with somebody, not fucking, you know what I'm saying? It's just different. But then you can live with someone, you can continue fucking, but then you get married. Now it's like, now we're not fucking no more. You know what I'm saying? It's just now I just want to fuck somebody else now because I'm like, all I see is you. What the fuck?
Wow.
You know, like,
I mean, no, I can understand that. I know I have a friend who, like, I guess, like, their relationship started long distance.
I'm gonna re-up because you know.
Yeah, I gotta take it slow now. I told you I was struggling today.
I'm helping you out.
No, you're not.
You know
I still gotta eat again. So
yeah, you had a friend,
Sima, who they started out their relationship like long distance, and so when you saw each other, shit would go down.
Going down,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now it's like you live together, married, whatever, and it's like shit not going down.
Well, I think all right. So that's also another thing, right? Because now we're long distance. That means someone had to make a decision to move to where the other person is at.
I mean, yes and no, and then they both.
That means someone had them, so they both moved from their respective place.
I believe so. Can't 100% confirm.
Was they both ready to? Because I mean, it's a decision, it's a choice that gotta get made, and you basically blown up your whole life for someone. Either you move over there with them, or you said, "Fuck it, we're gonna do this. We're gonna do a whole entire new move together." Someone probably wasn't ready, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like you're blown up. You blown up your whole life and shit.
You thinking
really.
She gave him an ultimatum or something?
Maybe it was like, nigga, I'm tired of you coming down here, just you know what I'm saying, be in the box.
I mean, they married.
Back on a plane and shit.
They married and shit now. Like, I mean,
are they good?
I mean, not with the no sex part.
But they don't have that.
I mean, from my understanding.
Then I'm saying, so they're not going to be good.
But it's like,
how long they been married?
Not that long.
Okay, so yeah, it's going to be over soon.
But I feel like those are like so. The interesting thing about the show, right, tying it back into that, is like, one, I feel like the people on the show were a little too young. Like a lot of them were like 24, 25, like in their 20s, right? Okay. Versus like, I think there's another show on OWN called Put a Ring on It where they're a little bit older, right? Which I feel like in that sense,
makes sense.
It makes a little more sense to be giving for, not to say that people can't get married at younger ages, but it's like, to me, that makes a little more sense when we're in our 30s, 40s, and it's like, nigga, you haven't tried to marry me yet? Like, come on. But I think they're
say 40s, 50s. Let's not say 30s and 40s.
Just because you want to continue to be around here and 40, 50s, spread your seed all over the world until you're 50, 60 years old does not mean everybody else has to wait that long. Okay.
First, I'm not spreading it all over the world at that age. I'm gonna spread it now. So as I get older, I mean, they go on their own way. You know what I'm saying?
But I think one thing that like the show like pointed out, I guess, about relationships is like really trying to understand the person that you're with, like. And I think a lot of people are afraid of that, like that commitment of like, that paper to be signed or whatever, like, oh, we're married. But it's like, you really got to like ask these questions, find out these people's traumas and stuff before you do that. And I feel like a lot of these couples, maybe just because of how young they were and like, whatever, like did not do that.
They probably don't even know their own traumas at this point.
Because like one of the guys on there, he really like honestly needs to go to therapy. Like, just because like he eventually started to express himself, like what he went through and like his family dynamic and all that stuff.
He got raped, he got touched.
No, but it was just like, his family wasn't there. His family wasn't there. You know what I mean? He has like abandonment issues. He has like a lot of things where it's like, but the girl just is like, well, I want to get married. And it's like, but
so she gives you a fuck.
He got issues that he got to work through. They're one of the couples that didn't make, like they broke up.
That makes sense.
But it's like, because you have to understand like where people come from to know then how to maneuver with them moving forward. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like that's really important to do. And they just missed that.
See? Mr.
One girl was childish as hell. Childish.
Was she bad?
She was cute. She was cute. She was just childish. So it's like, you got to look into those things.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I would ever give anyone an ultimatum.
Would you ever go into one of those shows?
I don't know. I feel like reality TV is like.
I could see you on one of those reality shows.
Well, like a dating show?
I don't know. I don't know. I could see you on it though.
I don't know. I have a friend that just did Temptation Island.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, oh, how was that? And it's like, they edit and stuff. Like you just.
Of course, it's never. It's like reality, but it's not reality. Cause like,
yeah,
you know what I mean? Like I was behind the scenes with like Love and Hip Hop one time. That's like a while ago. What was Joe Budden's shorty name?
Which one?
The one that was on the show with him.
There was a couple that was on the show with him. Yeah. Tahiri was one.
That's it. So it was Tahiri, her sister, and then we had that like a location in Brooklyn and just behind the scenes. And I was like, it was kind of like keeping them in order. You know what I'm saying? Like, all right, let's steer this topic right here.
Yeah, I mean, the topics, I understand.
Like, okay, you're straying away now.
No,
stay on it.
I definitely get that.
So now I want to take your head off now. It's like, it's your fault, nigga. You instigating this whole shit.
I mean, to a certain extent. To a certain extent.
I can't see myself on a reality show, though.
You said you can't?
I don't even think I want to work on a reality show, to be honest with you.
I mean...
But I mean, they come knocking with a check. Then now, I'm going to work. I'm going to work. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, but I can't see myself working on it. But the check come, I'm going to work. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
One question to circle back to, obviously, the initial thing about this show, right? So one of the things that the guy said was like he was holding off proposing and stuff like that for financial stability, right? But eventually he said like he felt like he was using it as like a crutch, as to like not move forward. Which is why sometimes I think a little push sometimes is needed.
I mean, what did he do?
What do you mean?
What's his career?
I don't remember. But he was a bruh, actually.
He was not a bruh.
Yes, one of the guys is a bruh on the show. Not a bruh. Yes, he is. I saw the brands.
What?
Yes, he is.
You didn't see anything.
He is a bruh.
Yeah, switch some glasses off.
He is a bruh. I forgot to mention that. One of your people. He was dealing with the cute, childish chick, though. Yeah.
They didn't make it? They made it?
No, he did. He proposed to her. Oh, yeah. So he gave into the ultimatum.
She was probably a K. But, so...
See the disrespect. The disrespect. My goodness.
But he said a cute, anyway, he's cute.
But yeah, like that was something that he said he felt like he was using it as like a crutch, right? Like, because not like he was broke. It's not like, whatever, but it was like people want to be in like the best place possible to take any steps anywhere.
Yeah.
But it's like sometimes you have to take a step. Like you can't wait for it to be perfect.
Listen, I don't know. Like I think I understand those sentiments because I feel like I'm the same way. You know what I'm saying? I want to be successful in a certain position, certain place. And I feel like to get there, you have to be able to, put your all in, you know what I'm saying? Put that time in. And, the same time, relationships take time away. You know what I'm saying? Just, what you're trying to do, what you're trying to accomplish. You know what I'm saying? That's why you have certain, like, the people who's really successful in life and shit like that, they put that time in. And then the ones who had their little wives on the side, they end up leaving them anyway. You know what I'm saying? So it's all good.
But that is a horrible way to look at it.
But again, you have to have listen, this is what I'm saying. This is the thing. Right? If you want to be one of 1%ers, 5%ers, 10%ers, whatever, you have to have tunnel vision. You know what I'm saying? If you don't have tunnel vision, you'll be basic. You know what I mean? You'll probably make some money out here, whatever the case is. You know what I'm saying? But you're probably going to be a 30%er or something like that. But you're not going to be one of the 10, the 5s. You know what I mean? You're not going to be one of those percenters. Like, think about it. I'm just saying. Really think about it.
I mean, I understand that, but I still feel like, so what? Put every other part of your life completely on.
You have to think about I'm not saying put it to, but you have to put in perspective what's important to you. What's your most important thing, right? At this point in time, I have kids already. You know what I'm saying? That's fine, whatever.
That's a big time commitment.
That's a big time commitment, right?
That's a lack now of full tunnel vision.
Again, but no, it's not. Because also, what adds on to my tunnel vision is, you know what I'm saying, what I'm building for myself and for my kids. I'm building, that's my legacies I'm building for. You know what I'm saying? Now, compared to like being in a relationship, being with your wife or whatever, who wants to go on trips, who wants to do this.
But why can't that also be that is still the building of your legacy? Because if that is your wife, who you will eventually have kids with,
let me tell you something.
That's still a building.
That's not automatic. Be honest with you, it's not automatic. Look at Will Smith right now. He's crying. It's not automatic.
But those are two different things. Because at the end of the day,
listen, your wife could come and go, dog. You know what I'm saying? She could be here today, gone tomorrow.
But that's why you try to pick the right people.
And you'll never know.
I mean,
you'll never know, right? You
love
can see
is a risk.
Exactly. There you go, right? It's a risk. Like you have to take risk again. They have to take risk in life. It depends on what what you want to put that risk in. You know what I'm saying? In your business, in your career, in your relationship, in your family, whatever the case is, it's a risk. But you have to determine where you want to put that risk. You know what I'm saying? Where you want to put them chips on.
I get that. But
because at the end of the day, you know, I'd rather focus on what I'm building. You know what I'm saying? My business, my legacies, whatever. And, have my, my kids, I don't get that time with my kids. They'll love me in the future anyway, because they'll be like, I could afford
that's what you hope. That's what you hope.
And listen,
because there's gonna be kids that be like, I ain't even want all that money. I just want your time.
And that's fine. You don't have to use the money.
But so like even in that,
you see Kirk Franklin's son out here. You know what I'm saying? Got a nigga cursing at him. Praise the Lord. But even in that situation, right? Like you have people that will always use that as an excuse. So like exactly like on the show, when some people were always using that as an excuse that they would never, I guess, take that leap or whatever. It's like at some point you probably do need to be like pushed. Like not saying that like you have to like complete like but
forget
how is that
all your
pushing
stuff.
Me though? Is that pushing me to be better in my business? Is that pushing me to have my brand grow?
Guess because if you decide to be in a relationship, so just this is an awkward conversation to have because as someone that is not a relationship person, i.e. you, right? Hard to have this conversation where like people are in relationships, right?
But it's not saying I would never be in a relationship though.
Yeah,
it's just saying what I prioritize is my goals,
and that's fine. No one's saying that you can't, but it's like at a certain point, how much can you continue to say, I have to get here, 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 right? Before doing maybe anything else.
I'm gonna keep saying it.
but I'm saying like you, not to say that you never achieve these things. So that's not even what I'm saying. But I'm like some people will always find something that they have to achieve first before doing something else. And it's like, I
think it's different when you get your foot in the door, when you're there in a certain place where you see yourself, you know what I'm saying? And then, you can bring someone else along with you. But you try to bring someone with you and you're not even there. Like, listen, you gotta think about it this way. Would you rather, right? Do you rather a man decide, you know what? I'm gonna rock with you, whatever case. I'm not really forget my goals, but me understanding that it may slow up a little bit because of what I'm pursuing with my family or whatever the case is, or my wife or whatever the case is, right? Me slowing that up, what if it never happened? Or what if the where I see myself being because you know what I'm saying? Like would I regret it? You know what I'm saying? And then that would make for an unhealthy relationship anyway. You know what I'm saying? So regardless, I just think you should be truthful to yourself. Not mind you, not everybody want to be a millionaire. Not everybody want to be a boss. Right. Not everybody want to be, you know what I'm saying? In reality, it's really a small percentage of people that really attack those things anyway. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like there's a lot of us out here just missing out on relationships and whatever the case is. It's really not a lot of us that's missing out. I mean, there's a certain few. The average individuals, they're in relationships and cheating. It's all good. You know what I'm saying? But, the ones who the ones who is chasing this media dream or chasing this business dreams and this, you know what I'm saying, or want to be in the spotlight or, so want to be financially, you know what I'm saying, not just financially stable, because we don't want to be financially stable. We want to be fucking rich. The ones who want to be in those positions are, it's not a lot. It's few, you know what I'm saying? It's a small percentage. So, I'm just saying, regardless, there's love out there. Maybe people's out there, they're in love and they're cheating, loving.
I can't. I mean, I think that it's one thing, I guess, to like not be in a relationship at all and decide if you even want to start one. It's another one to be in a relationship and then not be willing to like take certain steps in that relationship due to this, all these different things. When if that person is working for you or helping you, assisting you, being your support system, it's like sometimes people just end up being scared of that step versus like.
I mean, I think what you just said was important, right? Like working for you, helping you, being support system. I think that's important, right? So. And this is my thing sometimes. I feel like you have people that say they understand, or say that, you know what I'm saying? And you'll get that a lot. Like, oh, but I understand and I'm with it and whatever. You know what I'm saying? But they're not putting any, at the end of the day, it's just me making my move, or, you know what I'm saying, that person making their move, making their push. And, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're not an asset. You know what I'm saying? They end up just being a liability. And that's the thing about it, is assets and liabilities, a whole key thing you learn in business, assets and liabilities. And people can be an asset and people can be a liability. You know what I'm saying?
No, I understand.
So if a man, I'm going to say a nigga. If a man, I was going to say a nigga, whatever. But so if a man is scared to move forward with you or whatever, you need to look at yourself and see, are you an asset or a liability?
But then it brings the question of why even be in a relationship with someone that's a liability, which I think is where,
like, they got to bust a nut.
Okay, you can bust a nut without being in a relationship.
Okay, that's fine. You know what I'm saying? That's okay. And I think, okay, and that's facts. And that's the thing too, is like, okay, well, that's where it comes out of being honest with yourself, right? As an individual, right? Of course, you got to be honest with the other person too, right? And then you determine if you want to continue or not. You know what I'm saying? It's not, listen, everybody want to be in something with someone. You know what I'm saying? Nobody really want to be alone. Right? So I think when those questions is asked, is like, okay, I think that's kind of unfair, because I think everybody wants to be in something. It just depends on, what do you put in place? You know what I'm saying? What do you put first, second, third? You know what I'm saying? True. So, I think that individual have to be honest with himself and with the other person. And the other person needs to be honest with themselves as well. You know what I'm saying? And then if it's taking too long to that other person, to that man, that woman, whoever the case is, that's in the opposite shoe, I think they need to look at themselves and start thinking, am I an asset or am I a liability?
I mean, we can all self-reflect, right? But as I guess, like, at my age now, if I end up in a relationship or when I end up in a relationship, right, at some point, who knows? When that happens, right, it's one thing, I guess, to be dating someone at 32 and we're in a relationship maybe for like 2 years. It's like, right now I'm 34. Like, so I feel like that time frame then becomes like so much, potentially a little more condensed versus like doing shit in your 20s, like when you are trying to figure out who you are and all this other shit. Whereas like if you're in your 30s, you hope that people have figured out who they are and have reached some of their goals somewhere.
Yeah, but why gotta be all that? Listen, you're in the entertainment space. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I also wouldn't. So I guess for myself, and I guess as women, we've learned how to multitask better in some ways than men. If I'm in a relationship with somebody and they understand my career path, right? They understand everything that I have to do. Like, this is me coming in. Like, you see what I got going on or whatever. I wouldn't necessarily hold off on moving forward with that person just because I'm like, well, I want to get a major movie role first. So I feel like I love when y'all say that, because I feel like y'all believe that y'all multitask better. Listen, I don't believe multitasking is not a real thing. People don't really multitask, son. I mean, okay, in a sense, so think about it, right? There's more failed relationships than successful ones. Right? So how do you multitask better? Because only thing you do is put yourself in a position to have a quicker failing relationship. Right? Because most people in entertainment space, the ones who get married young, things like that, they all fail. They'll get married multiple times. Well, but if you're getting married young, you probably don't even know who the hell you are for real.
Okay, but then, again, there it goes, right? So now you're saying, so you think in your 30s is old?
I don't think it's old. 30 is the new 20.
Okay, that's what I'm trying to say now. So
I'm out here looking better than these 20-year-olds.
Why rush? Focus on that. My thing is focus on.
It's not about rushing. I mean, for me, it's not about rushing.
I think it's a rush because I think as most people focus on reaching their goals, right? They'll be around like-minded individuals, right? That will more understand and be on the same page with them as they grow in life, right? Most people end up with people that's not on the same playing field as them. You know what I'm saying? You have someone who have a PhD, you know what I'm saying, or trying to, I have a homegirl who was in law school, a man don't have a college degree. He was trying to be a chef or whatever he was trying to be. You know what I'm saying? And he was hating on her because she was in law school.
Well, that's his insecurity if he was hating on her.
Again, that's because she's fucking with someone that's not in her stratosphere. And I think that's most people. Most people stop themselves or slow themselves down. You know what I'm saying? To be with someone who's trying to play catch up. And I think we need to stop doing that shit and just if you shoot for the stars, you shoot the aim where you're aiming at. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna end up being around like-minded people that wants what you want. You're gonna find that man that want what you want. You know what I'm saying? Because you guys are on the same playing field. Now, if you're here and this nigga is here, but playing to be here, you know what I'm saying? Eventually, that nigga gonna be like, wait a minute, man, my girl making too much moves and shit, whatever the case is, and that insecurity is gonna play out because you're already dealing with someone who is basically beneath you.
I mean,
people don't want to hear the truth.
No, I get.
But people fuck with people who is beneath them all the fucking time.
But but that also then turns into like sometimes a gender role conversation because they always feel like men deal with women that are beneath them because it's okay for a man to be above anyway, right? Versus it being the other way around. I think it's more acceptable for a man to make more and do more than the woman that they're with. It's more socially acceptable than the other way. But I still think that like, regardless of necessarily someone's like, okay, so for example, like I have a college degree, right? Like I've took that traditional route and like had a regular job, whatever. I had an ex that did not graduate college, right? So that's one thing. To my mother, that sounds horrible. He doesn't have a college degree, right? But he was also very business minded. So it's like, to me,
what was he doing? I mean, you could be business minded, but what? No,
he's created a lot of businesses. He did a lot of things, a lot of different things. But it's like, to somebody else, like depending on what that person does, they can think, well, that's below you. Like you're college educated, you're this, you're that, you have these things, but that didn't make him any less than.
I think your credentials. I think like you just said, he did this, he did that, and the third, right? It's not just about the college degree, it's about what you're doing. What have you done your resume, right? It's like, you know, it's like you can have a college degree and have, you know.
But so what if somebody is a chef?
You can have no work history in a college degree. You know what I'm saying?
True.
Right? Or you know what I'm saying? You can have, you know, the craziest work. You could have the craziest work history and shit. Like that should look amazing and shit with no degree. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not saying either or is bad or good, whatever. You know what I'm saying? But right there, you have something to stand on. Right? Now, go ahead. What you were saying? If somebody was a chef?
I was like, so for example, like you mentioned one person was getting a PhD, the other person was a chef.
Well,
right?
he playing chef.
Well, okay. So then that's really what it comes down to. Are people really faking the funk? Are they legit doing something regardless of the stature of it?
He's a wannabe. Like, you have people that want to be. I mean, those are people that talk about things they want to do all the damn time.
So if someone has a PhD, but the other person is a chef that maybe like started their own like
that's a whole different story.
Right. Okay.
That's a whole different story.
Okay.
Right? Because you're not
so right, it's basically the fakers versus
you're not sitting back like, oh my girl is doing this and the third and I'm not doing nothing. You know what I'm saying?
I get you.
Or girls like my man is doing this and the third, but he can't, and he can't take me out. And that's the thing about it too. There's a difference, right? Like you just said, like it's probably more acceptable society wise for a man to make more than a woman and shit, right? But you know what I'm saying? Like, we're gonna look at things differently, right? As a man, you know, we want to take our women out. You know what I'm saying? We want to take them on trips, do this and the third, whatever the case is. You know what I'm saying? And I think you have a lot of women that kind of play off of that shit. Like, this is what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to take me out. You're supposed to this and the third. So if as a man, I'm grinding, I'm doing this podcast show and I'm working on Netflix projects and I'm doing this and the third. Next thing you're like, well, you're working, you're doing this and that. You can't take me here. You can't go on a trip. You can't this and the third. Let's go. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, we're not going on no fucking trip. I'm not where I'm supposed to be at yet. Why am I taking a trip for?
I mean, we briefly touched on that conversation where I was like, I don't think people should I think you should travel here and there. You know?
Well, I think it depends on you and where you want to be. You know what I'm saying? Now, if me traveling as a photographer helps me as a photographer, then yeah, I'm going to go get my travel. I'm going to go, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to go do this and the third because I know that I'm going to take my images and I'm going to sell it here and I'm going to do that. I mean, it turns into an asset. You know what I'm saying? Anything that you're just spending money on and there's no return is a liability. You know what I'm saying? If I can't take that and turn that into content to that turn into something, that's a liability. You know what I'm saying? I'm not at a place right now where it's like, okay, I can afford to just do whatever and then, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm not at that place yet. I'm still building my production company. I'm building this and that. So if months go by and Third Eye Media does nothing, that's a fail. If months go by and my production company does nothing, I am failing in my you know what I'm saying, my trajectory where I'm trying to be. You know what I'm saying? So I'm failing. You know what I'm saying? I should be doing content, writing scripts, putting this down, podcasts, releasing. You know what I mean? Developing other shows, doing this and third. So, you know what I'm saying? We're failing. And that's how I look at it. So it's like, it's not about the trips. It's not about anything else. I think as an individual, where do you want to be? Now, I want to be the 10%ers, the 5%ers. You know what I'm saying? I want to be up in that level. I don't apologize about it. That's what I want to be. You know what I'm saying? So because I want to do that, I know there's some sacrifice that needs to be made. And the key word is sacrifices. You know what I'm saying? Just like in a relationship, you have to sacrifice in a relationship.
That is true.
You know what I'm saying? So it's either if I decide to super focus on a relationship all the way through, I know I'm sacrificing to have that focus. You know what I mean?
So do you think, just again to tie it back around to what we were initially talking about, so do you think wholeheartedly, once you reach some of your goals, right? Do you ever think that you would be like, all right, now I can make time for...
Yeah, I think you have leeway to do so. I mean, I think you're always going to develop more goals, as you should. Any successful person is going to continue to develop in goals. But I think once you get to that place, you have the financial means, the time, you know what I'm saying, to basically say, okay, well, now let me focus on, you know, this, then the third, right? Because now I'm in a place where I can do so. You know what I'm saying?
Right. But so that's what I'm saying. Again, tying it back to what we were initially talking about, right? With the fact of like having that push of this quote unquote ultimatum when you're in a relationship, right? Because like, yeah, once you reach a goal, you should create a new goal, right? You should then have a new one as you continue to go through it, right? Yeah. But if you were in a relationship and it's working while you're reaching that goal, that person is supporting you, there are people that will continue to use the continuation of new goals as never taking that step, which I think is why the whole thing of an ultimatum ends up becoming like a part of the conversation, because people sometimes need a push to say like, you know,
you don't need a push. You just gotta understand that person is not trying to be there and needs to walk away.
Well,
I mean, because
but then if that's the
you're
case,
gonna get a person ultimatum. I mean, for eventually that person that person to feel like, okay, well, you pushed me in this, whatever the case is, and then it don't. I mean, it's not gonna work out. You know what I'm saying? Like, you feel me? Like those, I feel like you're looking to end on a sour note if you think giving that ultimatum is going to work. You know what I'm saying? I don't care who decided, hey,
clearly
you know.
It has worked. Clearly it has worked.
How though? Because right now, all right, so the show's finished, right? Yeah. You have 4 couples that say, you know what, fuck it, let's do it.
And one completely got married.
married.
The girl pregnant.
So we don't know what is going to be at the end of the day. They could be like, you know, I made the biggest mistake of my life.
Well,
you know what I'm saying?
She's having a baby.
That's fine. And then guess what? That baby is going to have... You know what I'm saying? 2 supportive parents who live in 2 different places.
I just think the balance of love, because we all need love. We all need companionship. And not to say that marriage is for everybody, because it's not, right? Everybody.
Marriage is a business decision.
Yeah, and very much is.
I mean, we got to think about that.
So it's like, it's not for everyone. I just think it's interesting. I think just watching the show was interesting and seeing the dynamic of relationships and how one person can bring something out of another person. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you and me could be dating, but like you all of a sudden date this other person. They bring something completely different out of you.
Yeah.
Just because of their demeanor or whatever.
Liabilities and assets, baby. Liabilities and assets.
That doesn't necessarily mean the other person is a liability. They just have a different...
You could be a liability to someone and asset someone else.
So like, for example, talking about like pushing someone in goals, right?
Yeah.
One of the couples, the guy was more of like a pusher. Okay. Right? Like you got goals, we doing it. Like he's passionate, he's, whatever. She's just a little softer. Yeah. Right? So the other person she ended up dating was softer as well. Mm-hmm. So where she was like, they were still able to move in the direction together, but she didn't feel attacked. Yeah. Right? Mm-hmm. But I'm just saying, like, it's interesting looking at things like that, where it's like, they can both have goals. It's just sometimes how you go about it. Like, what's the difference? Again, being pushed, being a little more like, you gotta like know who you're dealing with.
Listen, I'm a pusher. I push.
And clearly that don't work for everybody.
Again, it don't work for everybody. Yeah, because you're not trying to be on the same page. You want to be a 5 or 10%er.
Some people can be and not get it worded in that way.
You feel me?
Like for me, I wouldn't like someone to talk to me a certain way, right? Like I don't need a guy to talk to me forcefully to get something done. You know what I'm saying?
My thing is, if something's not getting if it's not getting done, I feel like it's not getting done. Then it's like, all right, cool, we gotta talk. You know what I'm saying? And if it's not getting there, then it's like, all right, son, like you're bullshitting, you're playing around. Like you don't really want what you say you want.
No, I mean that's agreed.
And I think that could be the thing. Like I said, I didn't see the show. That could be the thing with that couple. Again, we don't know what is outside the shit, right?
That is true.
Because like what I mean, he could be like, yo, so I wanna support you and push you on what you say you want this and the third. But then like you're just bullshitting and shit. You don't really want it. Like you say you want it, but you don't want it. And then she finds someone who's gonna accept her bullshit. You know what I'm saying? But like, it's okay. And guess what? Y'all just ready for some mediocre shit. And that's okay. You could, and there's nothing wrong nothing wrong with mediocre shit. It's okay. You know what I'm saying? Mediocre people is happy.
So my last example that I'll even use my own situation, right?
Yeah, like, let's do that. Let me pull a drink up on that one. I love your situations.
Clearly everyone likes my stories. My stories are just so funny.
Yeah, it is.
No,
not
but like
to you though, but
one of my exes, right? Like
which one is this one?
I'm not disclosing that information. I'm not doing it with you. He worked best if somebody legit was like, you ain't shit. You fucking up. You're a failure. Like saying all those kind of things to him.
He like getting beat.
That would make him then want to like, I'm gonna do better because I'm fucking up. I ain't shit.
That's
right?
Weird. He like getting beat and shit.
I guess. Who knows? But whereas like I'm the type of person, I don't feel like I should have to talk to you in that way. Right? Yeah. I should feel like I should be able to say, look, this XYZ, this is not what's working. This was working. I think you need to do this, blah, blah, blah. And that's it. Whereas like I've dated people where the way I then present that information, that works for them. You know what I mean? Like I don't have to yell at you to get shit done. I don't want to have to yell at niggas to get shit done.
Nah.
Right? But it's like there's people that need the yelling and there's people that don't.
I don't feel like yelling at nobody.
Huh?
I don't like the yelling.
Right, but I'm saying like there's people that sometimes that's the push that they need to like get shit in order or to check themselves versus other people that it's okay if you talk to them in a nicer way. Just giving examples.
I got a lot of crazy shit just came in my head. Anyway,
what crazy shit?
I'm just saying. Like,
I'm hot. I'm hot. It's hot.
Like I'm a failure. I'm never gonna be shit.
I have no words.
Oh shit!
No words.
Oh man!
The people listening are not going to understand what you just did. The people watching will understand what you just did.
So,
my goodness.
So you be like, you in shit. You be like, yeah, you're right. I ain't shit.
What does that have to do with this man? All right. On that note, I think we're done with this conversation. I don't even think about anything that you just did.
I'm done. Okay.
Someone told me they think that you're funny, and I said, really? Because to me, he's crazy and annoying. I was like, you think he's funny? I will pass that message to him. At least somebody does.
That's hilarious, yo.
Oh, my goodness.
So you say you... I used to talk to him. Go ahead.
I never used to. I didn't talk to him in that way.
Tell him real quick. Tell him
I didn't talk to him in that way at all. That's probably why it didn't work out. Because I didn't yell at him.
So what did he want to hear? Go ahead. Tell him.
No. Thanks for tuning in to the Keeping It Frank podcast.
I ain't shit. Yo. Oh man, whoever you are, so you got problems.
So I can't tell any of my stories ever.
I'm gonna find out who that nigga is too. That's crazy.
No, you're not. You're not, because I'm not telling you anything. All right, I'm hot.
Oh yeah, it's hot as hell in here. It's crazy. But yo, so the moral of the story is
sometimes you gotta give people ultimatums.
No, that's not the moral of the story. That's bad.
Sometimes you have to tell these men, look, you say you love me and whatnot, then I'm gonna need you to handle your business.
And then sometimes you gotta be like, if she said that to you, you're like, well, I guess I don't love you that much. So
then don't waste my time.
Well, it was fun while it lasted and shit.
I mean, yeah. Like at this point, don't waste my time. That's all I asked for. Don't waste my time.
More of the story is just, figure out what you want in life and chase it. And, just try not to fuck up by getting her pregnant.
And you clearly didn't.
I know I fucked up.
You didn't get that message.
I stay fucking up.
Goodness. But then also for real, like I think like knowing what questions to ask people while you're dating them. Like you're not gonna able to know everything about a person because you won't see everything about them, but really trying to get as much information as possible as to why people act the way they act and like what their little triggers are for things, like because everybody has one. Yeah, it just shows up differently. So I think that's important.
Okay,
before you even go down that road, Well,
that's pretty well said.
Thank you.
Well said.
Thank you.
You do that sometimes. Well, thanks for again, listening to the Keep It Frank podcast show. Definitely follow us on YouTube and Instagram on Third Eye Media Network.
Hey.
We out here in these streets. Everybody who's been going on the website, the Third Eye Media Group.com. Everybody who's been going on there, thank y'all for going on our website, checking it out. And we got some big things coming up soon, man. We just had a little meeting, doing it up. I'll let y'all know what's going on soon. You know what I'm saying? We might be out here in these streets. You know what I'm saying? Follow Trick or Trey on IG. You know what I'm saying? Follow Keston Frank on IG. We out here in these streets. And yeah, you know what I mean? Don't give me no ultimatum because you're going to lose. You know what I mean? Keep It Frank podcast. We out.